Can I see you now? Good, yes, okay. And we have light on the subject. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It has been a hot minute since I've seen you all. And I've had some sweet people on YouTube saying, Jess, make a new video. So, and they sounded just like that in their comments. And I should turn this on so I can actually see what people are saying. So here we are with the lovely Stephanie. And she went to another deck when I was, go away. Sorry, I'm using a tablet that is not my usual, and it is making things a little bit more difficult. All right. Anyway, so Stephanie went to another tech while I was out of town, and so her nails are a little bit more flared, so I'm definitely going to be fixing that. And all I've done so far is use my e-file and sanding band and removed color. So nothing exciting yet. I'm just going to quickly push back cuticles. And all right, Lisa, Tammy, Michelle. All right, hi everybody. Okay, now I can see what's going on. All right, so push back cuticles.
Ooh, her fingers are drumming on the table. That's exciting. She's pumped.
She's pumped. Who was that? Michelle. Okay, so does anyone know how I can see a lot more comments than what it shows me? It shows me like two lines of comments, and if I don't see it like right away, I never see it again. Very difficult because I can't look there. Stephanie's going to pay good attention though.
I got you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to prep with this bit, which I recently discovered and absolutely love. So on my website at Love Nails, you can get this bit. I call it the pointed football bit. But I've done a bunch of, Russian manicure training and things like that. And you get tons of bits when you do Russian manicure. And in the salon, I do not have time because my clients are booked on the hour. I don't have time to do this many bits. I don't have time for that. So it's awesome for competition, but in the salon, I don't have time for that many bits. But I do like having the cuticle lifted and really getting in here and prepping the cuticle. So I messed around with lots and lots of bits and discovered this one. And it is an Atwood bit that I sell on my site. And it does a beautiful job of lifting up the cuticle and getting underneath it and helping clear out the funk. That's the technical word.
I have a lot of funk.
Well, we all do. And so lifting that up and getting that cleared out. And so it's a really great kind of all-in-one bit when you don't have time to do a full
Sarah would like to know
Russian
what
manicure
you're using.
So I'm on a foot pedal, and so it's hard for me to gauge exactly what speed. I would say I'm about half, so that would be about 15,000 RPM. They teach you, and the Russians and Europeans, when I talk to them and do classes, they're like, you go slow. Why do you go slow? And I'm nervous to go faster than that, so I don't. But they go full crank 30,000 RPM. So as long as you are careful, you can go faster if you want to. I like the control. I feel like I have a little bit more control by not going all the way up to 30, but you can. So that's the answer for that. And yes, my nails are itty bitty, teeny weeny nails right now. Because here's the story. I was telling Steph this before we turned on the camera. I am a lazy nail tech who does not like to do her own nails, but does them because that's just life, right? So I had blue nails on for like 2 months for the nail cruise, for nail camp, which was so fun. Hello to my nail campers at sea. And they were 4 or 5 weeks old, so it was time to go.
Someone said that your nails are cute, you keep cutting out.
Sorry.
And that they've been missing these videos.
Oh, that's nice. I'm not trying to cut out. When I post this later, now Facebook gives me the option of saving it to my phone so then I can post it on YouTube clearly. So yay, if you get any of this cut out, you can watch it on YouTube later and it will be perfect. So, so I don't know if it's Facebook that does that now or my phone, but
Tammy said the connection is cutting out. The same thing with it.
Let me see if I can. All right, I will try. Hold on, this is gonna be a little wiggly for a second. I will try to go. Nope. All right. I turned my Wi-Fi off and tried to go straight to cell. So we'll see if that helps. You guys can let me know.
Leah says, good morning.
Good morning. All right. So now I can go through, and if you are able to in your state, this is obviously state mandated, you can get this stuff that's just hanging out. If it's clear and sticking in your way, then you can get at it. I know in some states you're not supposed to do anything, and I am so very sorry. But when it is sticking up at you, it just sometimes needs to go. All right, so I'm going to grab a new file and an old file. So I always keep my old file from my last client to, oh, that pack was empty. No, it's not. Sorry, looking for my new one. All right, I always keep my old file from my last client, take off the edges of the new file. So really important to make sure you take these edges off so that you don't cut your client. So typically do this to the side because it's a little harder at this angle. I am in that state. Darn it. You're in that state, Amy, where you can't cut cuticles. Oh, that'd be sad. I mean, then you really have to try to see if you can make the whole Russian manicure thing where you try to eliminate them without anything. But I feel like with some cuticles, you have a harder time doing that. All right, so very carefully, I'm going to just blend in her nail. She had a good month grow out, so just blending in her old growth and her new growth. And I still, even though I use that bit, I still am going to make sure I go around the cuticle with this file. One of the important things about using those prepping bits is that you must make sure that you're replacing them occasionally. A lot of people will get those bits and they'll use the same one for months and months and months and months and months, and then they're like, my nails are lifting. And I'm like, well, are you only prepping with the bit or are you using a file? And if you're only using a bit, how old is your bit? Because those bits don't last forever. They're diamond grip bits, but they will smooth out. So you need to make sure you're replacing them now and then. So every 3 months, 4 months, get a new one. It's totally worth it to have a new bit, and you will see how much better it preps and how much better it will pull off the funk on the nail. So that word, the funk, that was a Tom Holcomb word from back in the day when I took his class. That's what he called it. So, and I was a baby nail tech like 15 years ago when I took his class, 17 years ago. It was a long time ago. So it's just what happens. You just use the same terminology forever. Because no one's saying anything. Make sure you're reading to me, Miss Stephanie.
Nobody said anything.
All right, good. Just checking. All right, so I want to kind of get these two pretty even.
With some funny faces. Your nails are cute. I remember the funk. LOL, great guy. Amy said that.
Yes, the funk. He was great. My nails are cute. My nails are so bitsy.
They're so cute, though.
I have tiny hands. Look how tiny my hands are, though.
It did make me realize that, though.
I have really tiny hands.
But your nails are cute. If no one would, like, we all know you have long nails, but if you see, like, a random person, they don't know that.
No. A random person would think I just have normal nails. But
yeah.
For me, it just feels like I have just really tiny hands. So, but the reason I did it, I didn't even finish that story. The reason I did it is because I get to go to the fabulous class with Madeline Wolf from Sweden, the Grand Champion, global champion, next week in Florida. So I either needed to re-sculpt my nails out that weren't blue, or shorten them down to where my natural nail length was and even them out. And since resculpting takes a very long time and I was going to have to take them off already, like 3 weeks later, I nixed that idea and thought, all right, well, shorties, here we come. And I went to my high school reunion, and it probably helped because I probably would have scared people with my longer nails. They just are not used to that, I'm sure. That was pretty fun. It was crazy. Have y'all been to like any of your high school reunions? They're interesting. It's crazy to see people where you're like, I can't believe I haven't seen you in 20 years. That's crazy. Because you think of it like, yeah, I just gave away my age, y'all. It makes me feel old. It does.
My 10 year just happened. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, I think at 10, I didn't go to my 10, but I feel like at 10, probably no one changes a whole heck of a lot. Did you go?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably
I
not.
planned it super last minute, so nobody was on top of it.
Yeah. The girls all pretty much look the same. I mean, they're very easy to recognize. I would say the guys were much harder to recognize. Some of them were identical from what they were in high school. Absolutely. And I think it was the ones that basically look the same. They just have gray hair, but they have the same hairline.
Denise said, LOL, I'm coming up on 35.
Aw, 35. That's fun. Well, it was interesting. And we were at the airport, and this is how crazy spontaneous we are. There was a lot of people heading out to the Seahawks game in London. I have like 4 or 5 clients alone that I know that were out at that game. And we're at the airport, and it was a few days, it was like 4 days before the Seahawks game. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, I would rather go to London and go to the Seahawks game. Yeah. So we sat there while we were waiting in the bar for our flight going, we have miles. We go to London. And we seriously contemplated it for a minute. Ditching Vegas, not going to the reunion, and just going to London. But you know what kept us back? We forgot our passports at home, and we don't live that close to home. So we went to Vegas instead. Dang it.
That would have been cool.
It would have been really fun. And like, oh yeah, sorry. Decided London would be more fun. But then I would have been really sad because I had clients on Monday, so I would have had to come back right away. And you don't want to go that far and only be there for like 4 days. That's depressing. It's a long way to go for 4 days. So that would not have worked. So again, I'm blending this in. I'm thinning out the free edge. I want to make sure that her shape is good. That cuticle's in my way. Getting in my way. I want to make sure that I am prepping the cuticle area good. Getting that all ready to go. So if you watch me live in videos and you actually want to see me, which is scary, in a video, I will be doing a Tech Talk Live. I don't know if she's announced it yet. Have you announced it, Amy? I don't think she has, but because we just confirmed the date. But beginning of December, we're going to go and do a Tech Talk Live and talk about different stuff and nail camp and all that jazz. So I believe it was December 10th. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's when it was, which will be fun. By then, I will have a special link on the Nail Camp East website so that if you are wanting...
Yes, December 10th.
Yes, December 10th. Awesome. So if you are wanting to go to Nail Camp East, which is in Atlanta in May, and you're like, you know what, that's what I want for Christmas. That's what my husband needs to get me for Christmas, or my mom, or my siblings should all just pitch in and send me to Nail Camp. I will have a gift certificate link up on the Nail Camp East website, and they can choose to get you a gift certificate for your birthday, for Christmas, or for Mother's Day, because it's Mother's Day weekend, and what better way to spend Mother's Day with, than out enjoying yourself. Like, hey, this is what I want to do this Mother's Day. And so it's been really fun because there are a couple people that are like, oh, I don't even have to try to save up for it. My husband never knows what to get me for Mother's Day. This is really easy. So that's going to be fun. But there'll be links up there by the time we do the Tech Talk Live. So if you guys want those gifts for Mother's Day or your birthday or Christmas, then you'll be able to say, excuse me, this is what I want. And it makes it really easy for them. So they'll be able to get you a gift certificate. All right, last one. So yes, I always do all of this prep work by hand. I remove the old color and I'll do the cuticle work with that cool, awesome bit. But I will always go in and blend with my file. And this is the Zebra 100-180 file by Accents. If you're wondering what file it is, I really like them. They have a nice grit and they're not loud, which sound can bother me. So those are my favorite. But I do always do this blending and reshaping and thin out by hand. It's important to thin it out and get it smooth because when I do the 30-day manicure hard gel layer, there's no finish filing after that. So I want to make sure that everything looks really good and ready to roll. Okay. Dust. Put this in my dustbin. All right. Time to potty. So I'm using a wipe and some nail prep or prep and wipe or 99% alcohol.
Amy said the file sounds bothered.
They do. They're loud, but these Zebra ones are really quiet. And in fact, I have, and I know there's a few people that know about it, so they're waiting for it. I have Zebra sanding bands coming that I have found and tested. I'm going to check length on these really quickly. These Zebra sanding bands I have found and tested, and I love them. They take the product off really, really nicely, and they're not so bumpy. They're a bit smoother, and they are on their way, and they're a good price. So $10 for 100, which is, or $9 for 100, something like that. And they come in a nice case even. So I was pretty happy. And so they are on their way. So length, what I'm checking here is from cuticle to tip, from one to the other. So if I roll them together, I can look from one nail to the other. So see how much longer that one is, but you have to also take into account the length of her nail bed because her nail bed on this one's quite a bit longer. So when that happens, sometimes I'll average it a little bit because otherwise you end up with them looking really funky to them, but it's not too much longer, so we're getting it pretty even. But when that happens, sorry, I might have even been off camera.
Oh my god, I put those in my cart.
In your cart? The files?
I think so.
Or it wouldn't be the sanding bands because I don't have them up yet, but they will be up. They are already shipped and on their way. So these ones are long. If I compare them to these, look how much longer. So I'm going to take them down.
Those sanding bands.
Now the Zebra ones are not in the cart yet. They could not have been in your cart because I do not have them on my website. But they will be shortly. But you can hear how much smoother these files are compared to some of the others. They don't create a lot of noise. They're much smoother, which I like. Is it not cutting out anymore for you guys? It's better. I took it off Wi-Fi, so I'm just uploading via cell. All right, do that. Check my time. I am 2 minutes behind. 2 minutes. It's my stand time. So I'm gonna speed through. So we're going to go ahead and use both primers on lovely Stephanie.
Denise said yes, it has not cut out.
Good, awesome. All right, so my first primer is No Lift, And I'm using just a little brush that has some kind of funny, I don't know. It's like, it's not a perfect brush, but it's fine. I just very lightly hitting the natural nail. This is to dehydrate the natural nail. You don't want it to flood the nail. If you put it on the nail and it goes, you know, and just covers the entire nail very quickly, you're putting way too much on. So you want to just put it onto the natural nail where it goes.
It's not the file sounds that bother me. It's the squeak when you take off the sticky layer of the top coat.
Oh, well then you're probably someone who loves Shine On, because Shine On, there is no tacky layer, so that helps that sound. See, everyone has different sounds that drive them crazy. I also do not like the sound of carbides. I can't stand it. So I don't use carbides. I'll use diamond grip files or sanding bands, but I don't like carbides. So, all right, and I'm gonna be using my 106 brush. I'm getting that cleaned up and ready to go because I'm waiting for my primer to dry. So you want your no lift primer to turn chalky. So once it turns chalky, you can take your Fix-It, and I'm gonna bleed it out. Now, your Fix-It should be very thin when you apply it. What I've noticed is when I get down to about that line on my Fix-It, it will have typically by that point gotten a little bit contaminated. And I have noticed that it takes longer to dry. Hold on, I have an itchy spot on my arm. It's very weird. I don't know if I have something on it, but okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't know if it's just dust that's gotten in it or anything like that, but I noticed that it does not behave as well. And I had one time where I put on a client and I'm like, this is weird. It's like just still looks wet. And I kind of wiped it and moved it and went on, and she had so many problems that next time. So make sure that you just replace your Fix-It before it gets to that point. Like I said, it probably about to here. Once it gets that low, just get a new one. They're not that expensive. It lasts for a really long time, and it'll just make sure that your nails are in the best possible shape, which is important when your clients go a long time. All right. Next, I'm going to use my OptiBond. OptiBond, this is from the options line. You can use Adhere, you can use X-Bond. Oh, there's little sparkles in my brush. You know why there's little sparkles in my brush? Because my last client yesterday, I posted a picture of her nails. We did the new Aurora Sand. Do you want a sneak peek? Oh, you can't even see it. That's the new Aurora Sand. So if you're wanting a new glitter for the fall and winter months, this new Aurora Sand is available now at Love Nails. So that's why there is glitter on my brush, because I used that on my last client yesterday. And Stephanie's my first today because it is 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. All right. So with your OptiBond, you do not need to scrub. Just get it on the nail. And I typically brush it on the entire nail just because quite often I thin out the free edge all the way down to the natural nail. So you want this to be on any natural nail that's exposed. And so I typically just brush it down off the end. It's not a big deal. Yes, ma'am. All right, so, oh, and see, that cuticle's not pretty either. See, I don't know what y'all do when you can't, like, get rid of the cuticles that are all funky, flipping up in the air. I'm so sorry. I don't think I can move to those states. That would be sad. I'd have to figure out some special way. All right, so again, you can use X-Bond. X-Bond is our newest bonding gel that is meant to be used with all kinds of products. It's in a bottle, and I just find that I am faster with OptiBond. So it's just preference. Optibond's been around forever, and I'm just faster with it. So same reason I use natural as opposed to some of the other gels.
The light didn't go off. Is that okay?
It's okay. All right, so this is my natural
Monique
pink.
said I use it.
She uses X-Bond or
No,
Optibond?
it just says
I don't know.
use it.
All right, so this is natural pink. This is our classic UV gel line. So this gel has been around for over 15 years. This is the gel that I've used since day one. And I like how it flows the best.
She said X-Bond.
X-Bond, yes. There's a lot of people that use X-Bond. It is very popular, for sure. Anyway, so natural pink, again, this is a preference thing. There's a lot of people that really like the performance line, especially the new Trinity has been popular. I still love natural. I like how well it holds up over time. I like the consistency of it. I like that it smooths out in self levels, but it doesn't go flat on me. It's my favorite. So this is just a quick thin layer. I'm giving her a little bit more strength because Miss Stephanie owns her own fancy boutique and she can sometimes be a little harder on her nails. So I want to make sure I give her a bit of an arch, which I might not do for a standard 30-day manicure, but you know, you work on clients, they're people, you know, and they all have different lives and they have different needs and requirements. And I don't want her nails to be totally flat. So when I pull the gel over her nail, I'm pulling it up almost like a bit of an arch like that. And that will just give her a very slight arch. It's not a big one. See, if you look at the side of her nail, we don't have a big one in there to begin with. And I'm just pillowing around the cuticle. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap. Her color is going to go into that gap, so she doesn't need her hard gel all the way back to the cuticle. That's where her color is going to fall into. And then just brush down. And if you look at it from the side, she's got that little bit of an arch. She said,
I feel like I can do nails after that.
Oh, good luck.
Well, that's why they love us. We learn what they need and just do it.
That's true. You know, some clients, they need a more flexible gel. I have one that I did yesterday, and we learned after honestly years of doing her nails that she does so much better in Options Crystal Clear than in anything else. She just lifts and she picks at them when they're harder. And Options Crystal Clear just gives her just a tiny bit more flexibility and makes all the difference. I have a bubble. It's really not a big deal because I'm covering it with black.
Yeah, black.
Black. We're going to do black on some of these and camo on some. So over here on the side, you can see that it's a little bit bumpy right here. It's fine for now. I'm going to smooth this out with my file at the very, very end of her service. So I'm not super concerned with that. You're just going to make sure you check it at the end. So I'm just looking down the free edge and making sure that there's no product that's pulled at the tip and it looks thin. All right, I'm going to go on in the light for me, please. This one's the one that might get warm, so if it does, you're welcome to come out.
People are starting to watch. They know that the fun part's coming up.
The fun part's coming, that's true.
They're like, ooh, Jess is about to start painting. Let's watch.
It's just camo.
That's when I always like watching, because I don't know what all this
I know,
is.
people are like, fast forward to the
My
end.
hairdresser keeps chipping and cracking at the free edge. Which gel should I be using? I have Enhance and Balance now.
Okay, so use Balance. And if she's a hairdresser, I'm assuming you're probably using the Ultra Gloss on her for her top gloss, because that's going to protect them from getting stained. But your Balance is going to be a little bit more flexible than your Enhance. Now, if she's chipping them on the free edge often, it's actually the color that I would change. I would switch over to one of the Options colors. I have a couple of clients, maybe 2 or 3, that just crack the corners of their nails off all the time. And one of them didn't used to do it. She's been coming to me for like 10 years, and she didn't used to do it, but suddenly started cracking the corners of her nails all the time. And so we started using the Options colors, which are the ones in the pots like this. and they're more flexible. They have more strength to them. And as long as she wears a color in a pot, she doesn't break her corners. So it's adding some extra flexibility that can make a big difference. So if your hairstylist likes a specific color, like if she's someone who really likes to wear dark colors a lot in the fall or something like that, get one and try it on her and see if it makes the world of difference, because just having a more flexible color can add a lot more strength, especially when it comes to gel polish, because a lot of nail techs will have gel polish from tons of different brands, and some of them are made with quite a bit of nail polish, and nail polish is very brittle. And so if you are using, hair's getting in my way, if you're using a gel polish that's a lot of polish and just a little bit of gel, it will age more over time, and she may not crack anything until week 3, you know, and then it's like break, because the color might be aging quite a bit, and then you end up with a lot more problems. But you can try a more flexible color, and that will actually add a lot of strength. But
You said thanks like a long time ago.
oh, thanks.
I think you gave her more than she could bargain for.
Well, just
You gave her all
blab.
the facts.
I gave her all the information, all the blabbingness. I have to fill up the time here, because otherwise we just sit here quietly and then people are bored out of their mind. We don't want bored people. Especially when we're not doing the fun stuff. When we do the fun stuff, then people aren't as bored. But
There's a lot of people up early to watch you do nails.
well, you have to remember that this is not early on the East Coast. This is like,
Oh, it's like lunchtime.
yeah. Is it on?
No, it's off now. It was off. Now it's on.
All right, that is it for 30-day manicure layer. And we are going to be using 3 colors on her. We're going to be using Gel Art Charcoal, Nightfall, and Composed. So this is the gray and black, gray and black camo that I did a few weeks ago. So if you're on my Instagram, Love Nails, you can go back and see the full set of camo that I did. She's laughing at the sound I just made. I'm glad I can be entertainment. Let me find my tool. All right.
Find your tool.
Find my tool. All right, so first I'm going, which ones do you want camo?
I don't know. Whichever ones you
She
want.
does not know. All
You're
right,
the
we're going to do
professional.
these 2 because I can. And she's really wanting matte black. So I'm going to do matte black on 3 of them and camo on 2. So the camo that I did on all 5, it took me longer. So luckily that client was the end of my day, but now I know for,
But she was the lucky one, and the rest of us aren't that.
yeah, so I know that I would need a longer appointment time to do all of them. Again, this is Composed. This is part of the new City Slick collection that came out. Yeah, it's a great color.
Megan said her salon is loud and fun.
Yeah, mine's quiet now because it's just me, because the other Jess left me to go to cold Maine.
Is she doing nails?
She's working on it. She got a job at a like a fitness studio that happens to have a salon as part of it. So she's in a tiny little town though, so it's going to take her a while, because it's, you know, it's not an easy thing to build from scratch. So we wish her good luck in Maine. Looks like she's had a lot of fun though. She's had a nice autumn. Enjoyable.
Never been
Baking
there.
and
Have you been
such. To Maine, I have not. I went and taught classes. She bumped.
there? Oh no.
Fired. Just kidding. Okay. I taught classes in Massachusetts ages ago for Kim. And I was up in Rhode Island in that area long before we had a distributor up there and taught classes. So I've been up there, but I haven't been to Maine.
Well, now you can go visit.
And I haven't been up there since we got a distributor up in there, that area. So it's been a hot minute.
I think my nail hit the top of the light.
One that just went into the light.
Yeah.
Never put it in the light if you hit it.
Do you want to take it out?
Yeah. Let me look at it. Is it all messed up?
Just that one.
Is it messed up, messed up?
No, just this one.
Oh.
Just the paint.
I'll fix it. That's fine. I'll show y'all what it looks like. It's not too bad. And it's going to be camo, so who cares? Ha.
Yeah.
So I like this. I keep wanting to call it Composure because in one of the image files that Accents had for us, putting this on our website, it said Composure. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. But then apparently they named it Composed. And I'm like, I kind of like Composure. But it was part of the City Slick collection. And they have Prim. And I think that they should have had Proper. Prim and Proper. It would have been ideal. But nobody asked me, so it's all right. Hi, Brandy. I see her's popping in. I am working on Nail Camp East, West location. I emailed one of them again last night because the big thing with Nail Camp West, and I know some of you are waiting to find out when that's going to be. It'll be in the fall next year. But the location, I've been wanting to find just the right place. And some of them can't tell me until a month after their October events. And so looking at sometime in October or possibly the first or second weekend in November for Nail Camp West. It just depends on what is available. But I am still trying to be kind of in the Boise area just because then it's very central for our friends over in Montana and Utah. And it's still not, it's not, obviously the people that live in the Seattle area would have to decide if they want to go that far. Because it's farther. But all of these other friends of ours have been coming all this way for years, since 2010. So you can give it a shot. I lost my orange wood stick, so I'm going to grab a new one. Oh, it's hiding under my file. It's all right. I got a new one. That is a funky one. Let's turn it over. Okay, so I'm not going to do, see what she did? I'm not going to do those quite yet. I'm just going to go ahead and do my second coat of black on this and just get it in there frozen so that I don't bump into it. And then I will do these two camo.
At least it's like a good line. It's straight. You can see
Yeah,
the straightness.
I don't have to buff it. Sometimes it gets smashed in a way that it gets all really funky and I have to buff it, but I can just cover that up with camo, so it's not a problem. So this is Nightfall, and we have two blacks. We have Nightfall and Noir, and Nightfall is a little bit more creamy, whereas Noir is a little bit more clear. So if you're doing like an ombre, you're going to want to use Noir. It blends much easier than this does, but if you're doing a full coverage black, Nightfall works really, really well. Okay. Silent room.
Do you work all day today?
Do I? Yes, I work till 7 tonight, so 8 to 7 today.
Well, at least you're off at 7. That's
Yeah,
a long
at least
time.
it's only 11 hours.
Usually you're like 10.
It's Friday. I get my daughter back today. My daughter's staying with my mother because of the big move. So I know some of you that have been following that saga are probably wondering what's going on with the mountain and the new Love Nails, because they're still kicking us out of this building the end of April. And it's frustrating. Our house is on the market so that we can get the money to do the build, but the market got oversaturated. So now there's 1 million people with houses on the market and nobody's is selling. All the signs that popped up the same time mine did, they're all still up. And of course we've lowered our price and it hasn't made a huge difference yet, which sucks. But, one step at a time. Hopefully there will be somewhere. All right. on to the fun stuff. So I'm going to use a stylus, and I'm going to use kind of the bigger ball and the smaller ball. So I like this one. This is on a ribbon set. I have a couple of stylus sets available, so you can get either one. So what I like to do with this is be super random. So I dab, and the way that I've found that I like the camo the best is by dabbing. I've done it in the past where I kind of take a big smudge and just kind of smudge it on with part of my nail, with like say I would take this and put that on, but it just doesn't come out quite as cool. To get this kind of bumpy effect, using the stylus is really helpful. And it's just really random. So let's cover up that big bit. So this is the Options Gel Art Charcoal. And this is a really nice all over color as well. If you have someone that kind of wants that really dark gray, but not black, this charcoal is really pretty. And you don't want it to be, I'm gonna flip it over so that I can get up closer to the cuticle, because you don't want your light color to be the only thing around the edges. To have this look right, you've got to have some of the other colors hit the edges as well.
Charcoal is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a great color. Uh-oh, I created a line. Salon mistake. So I'm just gonna go through and erase it like that. You won't even be able to tell, because I'll go through and re-dab this line. Oh, my next one's a little early. No problem. All right, go ahead and put that in for me. Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Say hi to all the video watchers. So again, we're just gonna dab. You just wanna dab it very randomly. You don't want them to look the same. You don't want your splotches to be the same. If there's somewhere where your first coat of color was a little bit light, make sure you cover it up with the second coat with this color. So like I said, I didn't do 2 full coats of Compose because this is my second coat. And if I did 2 full coats, then you'd end up with a much thicker nail, and we don't need thick nails. I want a bigger splotch. See, because that kind of looks like, I can tell you what I think that looks like. We're just going to change the shape of that.
What does it look like?
I'm not gonna, I'll tell you later. See if someone guessed what that looked like before I changed it.
Come on, somebody. Yes, I wasn't watching. Now they're all going to be quiet.
They can't rewind it yet, so no one can be all smart about what they think it was without rewinding.
Well, it's no fun if you're the only one.
Is it camo? Or,
This will be camo. Yeah.
Love it.
All right, go ahead and put that in. Now I'm just gonna go into my black. This paper is destroyed. It's all right. It's supposed to be. All right, and I'm just gonna flip this over in my hand, and I'm just gonna grab it off the end. Now it's a little bit runnier than my gel art charcoal is, so just take that into consideration. And I am gonna bump into the skin a little bit when I get it close, because that's just life.
Michelle said, "Mwah ha ha ha." She doesn't know either.
Yeah, see? I challenge someone.
You're
Go
all
back
visual.
later and watch the video and see if you can see what I
I'm gonna
see.
relive this moment.
So I'm just, it's just really, really random, guys. But the trick of making it look cool is using your dotting tool. Who thought of that? I don't know. But I decided one day to try it with a dotting tool, and I really like it. I think it comes out way cooler because it's a lot less exact than using something else, like a bigger brush. All right. And I'm gonna go around this little bit that we smudged. just like that.
It's like it never happened.
It's like it never happened.
You're not supposed to bring it up again. It's a secret after you covered it up.
Nope. It's, you know, real life. That's why this is called real world nails, because things happen and we figure out how to make it better. And that's what makes it fun, because in the salon, things happen all day. All day, every day.
Only until 7.
Only until 7 tonight.
I love the way it looks with the sorting tool. It actually looks like camo instead of camo-ish.
Camo-ish. Yeah, it's really cool. It makes the stylus makes it look really cool. So
Thank goodness.
that
we
is
don't
your
want
trick.
Camo-ish.
Yeah, no ishing.
Dotting. Sorry, it's early. Yes, it is early.
All right, in the light, please.
She's speaking our language.
All right. Let's get some on your brush. And you can do this with like any color combination you want, obviously. So this looks really cool with these colors around like Valentine's Day, you know, rock the camo that's like white and pink and red.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can totally, you know, mix up your colors. I think it looks really good when you do 3 colors kind of in the same family. So obviously these are all like light and dark shades of gray, if you think about it like that. So if you do light and dark shades of red, that's how you get the others. So now if I did this and I'm like, oh, I feel like I just messed up that spot, like I have too much of a splotch, so I might go back and mess with it some more, or I can remess with it. I don't know. It's camo. It's kind of like hard to mess up, but at the same time, like, I know. Sometimes I wonder.
Mess up.
Shush. You act like it doesn't happen all the time. And you know it does. It so happens all the time. It
It's just because
does.
you're a perfectionist. You'll be like, oh, my line's crooked. I'll be like, oh, it is?
It
You'll
is.
be like, yeah. Oh, I didn't know.
Totally is.
At least she owns it.
Yeah. So mess up all the time.
It looks like real camo. Awesome.
I try.
It's her dotting tool.
It's the dotting tool. It's the key to the
like
camo.
you're
It's the
learning.
key to the camo. So if you don't have a good stylus,
Don't try
I
this at
have,
home.
yeah, I have them on my website. So grab one and make it happen. I'm still debating if I like this situation right there. Go in the light. I might change it. Go, go, go.
Oh, I didn't know which light we were talking about. I thought you wanted this light.
The one that cures things.
Gosh.
All right. Oh, matte. Matte.
Is this a black or a dark gray?
Black on these ones.
Yeah.
So the camo looks really fun with matte. So you want to make sure that you give your mat on, upside down, your mat on a really good shake. Mat on. It will come out nicer, I feel, when you give it a good shake. It has a funny smell to it, but they all do. Whatever it is that's in matte top coats that makes it matte, they have the chemical or whatever it is has an interesting smell. All right, so this went up into the cuticle a little bit, so I'm gonna wipe it out. I'm gonna dab it on a little bit thicker just so there's not so much texture, although Stephanie likes the texture of stuff. So I'm not gonna go too crazy, that way she can still feel it. Okay, freeze that for a second. She likes to feel the dots. Okay, come back.
You want it again now?
Yes, I just wanted to freeze it so it didn't move back in the cuticle.
Do you know what you're gonna do?
I don't know. I'm a boring one.
Well, I just wanted black, and
Oh,
here we
she's
are.
freezed.
Well, my husband said I was boring, and so I had no idea what to do. And I commented on these ones a long time ago, and she remembered. I didn't remember.
I remembered.
She knows everything.
I do not. Shush.
She does.
Right?
You guys are so funny. I swear I do not pay them to say these things, you guys.
I come in and she has my color sitting right there waiting. She's like, I knew you were coming.
Well, that's true. There's a couple people that are a specific color pretty much every time. So this is not, you're not that unusual to have your own color.
She has like her own bottle with her name on it.
Well, no, not quite that much. But I'm gonna freeze that for a second. Okay, come back with this one.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna take that, but see how when I use this brush, it just makes a dot on the nail? That's not cute. But then you can actually,
Yep, that's not cute.
that's better. Okay. Stephanie agreed. Which is not cute, it's just a dot.
Oh, now I can see it real time right here. Yep.
See, it was a little better. It was just too much in one spot of black, so I broke it up.
Whatever you think is best.
That's how you know you trained him well. They say whatever you think is best. I had one yesterday who, now she comes in and she's like, I don't know, something Halloween. That's all she says. I'm like, okay. Or she'll be like, I don't know, something purple. So there's a lot of
I'm gonna start doing that.
guessing game.
I'm just gonna start coming up with a color.
But you know what? If you don't like it, it's not my fault.
That's right.
I don't think there's ever been one I didn't like.
Well, it's just a lot of thinking for me at 8 o'clock in the morning when you come here.
Yeah. I knew black today. See, I did do that today. It was like something black.
I know, but I knew you wanted camo because you said so on when I posted this picture.
Yeah, you should post more pictures.
I'm
I should be your
trying.
secretary. You should send them to me and I can post them for you.
Well, it's taking them that is the thing. Like people walk out the door and I'm like, oh right, I should have taken a picture of that, and it's too late. So I try to get like one a day. So if you look recently, I've been good. I think this week every day I've done one a day.
Really?
Yes.
Where have I been?
I don't know.
Not looking, obviously.
I try to be good about it, but you know, there is the job of, you know, doing the nails.
That's true.
We have new stamping plates coming. I'm super excited. I have little kits that I'm putting together for y'all nail techs. If you like stamping for Christmas, it has some clear jelly stamper polishes and a stamper and some Christmas plates. So it's a little kit, and I'm only going to have a limited number of them, but they'll be discounted so that you guys can like get going with your Christmas stamping, because Christmas stamping is so fun. I do a lot of Christmas stamping because people stretch it out for like 2 appointments. So I will typically, they might do like stamping cute on the first appointment and then go kind of more elegant, something that'll flow over into New Year's on the second appointment. So I am a big,
Those sound fun.
yeah, they're really fun. There's some really cute ones. All right, so use your gel cleanser and give them a good wipe and you will see the mat appear.
It's magic.
Like magical. And then I always come through and make sure that they have not flared, because I do not like flared nails, and I want to finish them and make sure that they're not sharp for her, and that everything is good. Now I typically won't use cuticle oil on my matte clients because I don't want to add oils, and so they're always cool with that because they don't want them to look shiny the minute they get them matte. So it's up to you, but they will start to look shiny as soon as you add oils. And then I let them know that if they use some acetone or alcohol in between their service and just clean their nails, it'll help clean some of the oils off and keep their matte appearance.
All these pointers I'm getting.
Keep your matte appearance. And then use your sanding band or cone, depending on how much of a C curve your client has. And always come up underneath. Now, I always get the question from people, my client's nails are curling. They curl and they separate and they pick at them and then their nails break. And it's this technique right here, this little tiny bit at the end of their service can help prevent that. It's because when you remove some of their natural nail from the end, it helps eliminate it from curling. So do this step, not only because it makes their nail much thinner, let's turn it over, It makes their nail much thinner as a finish, but removing that free edge will help prevent their nail from curling down and causing separation, which causes them to pick, which causes broken corners. So, all right, guys, there you go. Some fun camo. Now you guys can do it. Get your styluses out, get some good colors, and tag me in your pictures so I can see. Catch you later. Bye.